smashing. I've still got a bit left, so what an exciting day. Might look a little odd, me wandering down the field with Jake here, holding a bucket and sprinkling what looks like grass seed, but in here is a magic mix. It's a mix of wildflowers from one of the Somerset Wildlife Trust reserves on the Mendips, and I am standing in the meadow next to my house. I don't like calling it my meadow because I don't like the notion of owning property. I think we're all stewards of land rather than owners, but the fact that when I first got here, and that's 2.5 years ago, this field was just a green desert, to be honest with you. It was used for pasture, and since we moved here, I've been running a rotation of leaving long grass, sometimes for a 2-year cycle. I've only been here for 2.5 years, sometimes for a 1-year cycle, and already seeing the recovery of the land. The grass species here have changed, the number of different species. Wildflowers are starting to make a comeback, and with that change in plant life has come a change in invertebrate life. I've seen marbled white butterfly, loads of skipper butterfly on the grass, and the sound of grasshoppers all around. But I've got to be honest, accelerating this process is a very exciting prospect, and it's thanks to Somerset Wildlife Trust and to Jake for providing this seed as something of an experiment on my part. Jake's the expert, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, what hopefully will happen is that we're going to be sowing the seed today, as you can see, and this autumn and spring we hope that some of these species in this seed mix will germinate and establish and actually enrich this meadow, which will enable all sorts of different species to actually thrive here. This seed was harvested, as Simon said, from Somerset Wildlife Trust Reserve, Chancellor's farm up on top of the Mendip Hills. It's an absolutely stunning area, ancient field patterns with very diverse grassland, tens and tens of species per square metre, whereas here at the moment, Simon, we might have perhaps 10 maximum, but in time, hopefully, and it does take time, we'll get some of these species to germinate. Now this seed mix here is actually harvested using a brush harvester. It's something that Somerset Wildlife Trust has purchased recently, thanks to a membership bill, which is great. It enables us to go into a meadow and to harvest the seed, but leave behind the grass, which enables our manager, Kate Lawrence, at the reserve, also a triple SI, to go back in there to graze animals or to harvest it for hay. It also means that we can harvest on 2 separate occasions, which means the number of species that we can actually capture increases.
Fantastic. I'm not an expert in botany, I don't pretend to be, and it looks like a bucket of horse food. But I am confident, well, I know some of the species that are in here, yellow rattle being a notable one. Not every farmer loves that, but I'm not trying to farm this for maximum yield of grass. I'm trying to manage this for maximum biodiversity. Yellow rattle being a parasitic plant, or semi-parasitic, and it should nibble its way into the rhizomes and roots of some of the grasses, giving a bit of space, giving the flowers room to stick their beautiful heads up above the ground. And there's a real sense of marvel and expectation into what might happen both this autumn and perhaps more importantly the coming spring and summer. So we better get back to it.